Hey dudes, Silvite Soltis here again with another installment of Memories of Vanilla, my reflective series of my Warcraft adventures back in 2005 to 2007. Last time, I told about how I came to the decision to try and acquire a full set of Dreadmist gear, as well as how some of my adventuring went in pursuit of that goal. Needless to say, I was still a huge noob back then. So today I'd like to tell another newbie story that happened around that time. I hope you enjoy. If you do, remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications when new content is released. Also, leave a comment down below telling me if you had a similar experience back in the day. But anyway, let's get right into the story. Back in early 2006, I remember watching Leika as his mage took on some huge giants made of rock and magma. There was something intoxicating about what he was doing. Talking with a clamor of voices in Ventrilo, spamming his frostbolt icon, and running with a massive group of Alliance soldiers through the pits of this fiery cave. I was enthralled. Well, fast forward to the summer, and I was ready. I was finally going to enter the Molten Core for myself. One evening, shortly after hitting level 60, and somewhere in the middle of my quest to obtain a full set of Dreadmist gear, Leika called me on the phone and asked if I wanted to go to Molten Core with his guild that night. And oh boy, did I ever. Naturally, I agreed, and proceeded to stock up on mana potions, the only consumable that I really knew about, before logging out in order to do other things before the raid started. I don't remember how I spent the time until the raid, to be honest. Probably just played Aoyama Motoko or something. But eventually, it was time. 8 o'clock p.m. The summer sun still shone through the basement windows as I logged into Silvite and messaged Leika for an invite. Within seconds, it came, and I found myself in a group with around 30 other people. Other than my random experiences in Alterac Valley, this was the biggest group that I'd ever been in, and I was pumped. And then it hit me. I had no idea where Molten Core was, or how to get there. Sheepishly, I messaged Leika to ask where I should go. He lolled, and just told me to wait for a summon. They'd take care of me so long as I followed my healing assignments. This helped me to relax a bit, but I was really anxious to get inside and start fighting those baddies that I'd seen before. Eventually, a window popped up. Player A wants to summon you. This was it. I clicked yes and was transported to Blackrock Mountain, a place that I only recognized from the few UBRS runs I'd done previously. Stoked, I slash-waved at everyone before watching them gather by some elf in a room. This is where something odd started happening. One by one, my teammates started disappearing from that small room. I wondered why, but figured it would be best not to say anything for now. Eventually, only a handful of us remained, all in various guilds and looking just as confused. Leika whispered me, asking why I hadn't zoned in, and this is when I noticed that everyone else was in a place called Molten Core. Confused, I asked how they'd gotten in, as they'd all simply disappeared from the room. Apparently, all I had to do was talk to that elf guy, and he'd teleport me. So I sighed, walked over to the NPC, but all I could do was accept a quest. Attunement to the core. Leika's response was, as expected, Raffle. In my noobishness, I had never found out that I actually needed to attune for this raid. At this point, the raid leader asked why we were all still standing outside. Apologizing, I said that I apparently hadn't done the attunement yet, but would get it done as soon as I could, hoping to somehow save my spot. I, along with the others still standing around outside, were told to get attuned first. and then we were kicked from the raid group. So much for my dreams of slaying lava giants. I hope you enjoyed the misadventure that was my first attempt at raiding in vanilla. It's one of those experiences that really helped me to grow as a player, and one that, while negative at the time, I always look back on fondly. After being kicked from that group, a few of us unattuned players did make a group and run the Attunement quest in BRD. But by the time we actually finished it, the raid was long finished. Yeah, I know, we sucked. And so I never actually got into Molten Core that night, or ever again in vanilla. Luckily though, I'll have another chance to do it right from August 27th. And I'm going to cherish every bit of it this time. Anyway, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this story and would like to have more in the future, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter for updates when new content is released, and check out my blog over on Blogspot for written versions of this story, other stories, guides, and more. But that's enough shameless self-promotion for me. Thanks for watching, and as always, take it easy, guys.